Well, hey folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. Today, I'm really looking forward to talking to you about this really portable but very durable and fun to use targeting system. This is the Last Stand target system that we're going to look at today. I've had a lot of use with it. Picked it up on Amazon a few months ago, taken it out about 5 times now. Really seen some great durability, and the awesome compact ability, if you will, of this system is awesome for me, and I think for many of you out there maybe who don't have pickup trucks and don't have the towing ability or space to take a lot of really large heavy gongs with you when you're going out for a day of target shooting. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to do the ins and outs, have some fun doing some shooting and running gunning with this thing, and we'll talk through its pros and cons of the Last Stand target system. Okay, so let's look at the hangers here as part of the system. Now you can purchase these separately for about 20 bucks for a pair plus some shipping. And these are made out of that ballistic rubber, and that's what you slide your 2 pieces of rebar through to keep them from kind of flapping around. And the benefit to this over like chains or something like that, or fire hydrant hose, I've seen people use that, cut that up and hang their targets from that, is that this absorbs the shock from the hits and keeps it from flapping and flinging all over the place, particularly with the higher velocity rounds. So that's what I really like about that, and that's why I continue to use these. Held up really well with all the different types of rounds that we've been shooting at it: shotgun, pistol, rifle. And then you got your 2 holes here that will fit your bolts, and you can attach either Last Stand's proprietary gong, or you can purchase your own gongs, even a single hole gong, and just hang it here and hang it there, and you got 2 gongs hanging right there. So really cool, simple system. And then it just slides back and forth right here on the rebar, and you get it set where you want it, and it'll hang out right there and won't scoot around throughout the day of shooting. So this is a lot of where the magic happens. Right here is this joint, and the joint that is set up with the rebar, and we'll discuss the rebar here in a moment. But one thing to note, that over time this is going to pick up all of the splatter from your jackets, so just be aware you should use gloves when you are setting this up, because over time this will have a little piece of shrapnel. You may even want to take a pair of pliers with you to pull out the big pieces, as you're tearing down for the day. So just be aware of that this will hold some of the shrapnel. But basically it just has the 2 joints. Obviously we have 1 piece of rebar already in there, and they're really tight out of the box, but you do it a couple times and they loosen up and they work real smooth, real simple. And it's a simple design. You just kind of, if I can show you here, if Brian can zoom in there, we slide the rebar in through here, and then we're going to pop it through this joint, and it's going to sit here, kind of like you can see with these guys. So I'm just going to feed my stick of rebar. You can see, there you go, pops in. Then this is how we leave it. So we transport them like this. Once they're seated in there, you never have to worry about it again. And they recommend 5-foot sticks of rebar to put in here. If you're carrying this in a pickup truck or a really large, hatchback or something, not a big deal. But we're using, Subaru Outbacks, and a 4-foot stick would actually be a little bit better. So we're going to shrink these down slightly to 4-foot sticks just to fit in the trunk better. And they recommend the 5-foot on each side for the spread, for the higher calibers. But if you're doing, like 5.56 and 12 gauge, and you're doing pistol rounds, you don't really have to worry about that. But if you're doing really high velocity rounds, then you might want to stick with the 5 feet so that the target doesn't tip over. But then basically, you just A-frame this little guy out. You heard it click right there. Pops in the joint. So if you're having a little bit of trouble, you can just do this. But you can see how it's popping in, and then it grabs itself right there. Now it's set up. So here's one part of it. We have the same setup, and we'll put the cross beams in here in just a second. Okay, so I've popped open both A-frames, and now I just need to attach the cross beam through. Pretty straightforward. You just slide it in just like that. It's going to sit nice and tight in the place there. Rest it down. Grab your other piece, and you slide it through. Bam. There you go. It's set up, and you're done. So a few things to touch on before I attach the steel gong is the fact that one of the great benefits with this system is that it's adjustable. You know, with this rebar, not only can I, if I'm on kind of like a weird hill angle or something and I want to shoot, I can push these rebar pieces up higher, make one leg's side lower than the other, and, you know, put that on the hill, have the further leg, you know, sticking out further. Lots of capabilities in that sense. You know, some other things to note, you might want to take like a mallet or a hammer, and you could really hammer these in, just get a really good secure setup. But as it stands, I mean, it never hops, never jumps around, you know, falls over, anything like that. Very durable in that sense. Even with wind, that's another thing. You know, the wind isn't making these rubber arms swing around, which is a really nice capability as well. And that's just really why we like it. We can break it down, and we can put it in sedans. We can put it in the, you know, back of our hatchbacks that we have. We don't have big F-250s to haul around, you know, a couple 100 pounds of plates and all sorts of stuff. So this gives us lots of options and lots of capability, including even if you want to do paper targets, you could just get some cardboard and you could clamp it to this rebar with those industrial strength, you know, steel paper clips that you can get, you know, at any, you know, Office Depot or whatever. And you could do, you know, alternating paper targets, different things like that. Just the capabilities for this system are really endless, and that's why we love it. So if you buy the whole system as a whole, you do get this plate. And I gotta say that for the abuse that we've done to it, I'm actually really pleased with it. The damage that you see was the very first day out with my AR at about 50 yards, which is not what is recommended. They recommend, you know, for high caliber rifles to do 100 yards, which you'll see on almost every, you know, steel gong system that exists. But I just wanted to see what it would do with those closer shots, and it has held up really well. It only has minor pocking done on it, and some of this was like 7.62 by 39. That it got some chips on the top. But after that, once we backed it off to about 80 yards and beyond with the rifles, worked fantastic, never put another POC in it, and pistols, no problem whatsoever. So the durability, and I love just the silhouette size. It's not ginormous, and it's not really tiny micro either. You know, it kind of gives you a little bit of a headshot system as well. Just a really cool, really durable, and I'm very pleased with the durability. So as long as you use it properly, as it's described, as using 100 yards or more for rifles, and then you can do less for the pistols, and just follow the recommendations on their site. And when you purchase this, it'll be super simple, and that's all USA made, which is fantastic. But very simple setup to hang the gong and the hangers, and then the A-frames. Takes you, you know, less than 5 minutes to set the whole system up. Last thing to note is sound. You know, sound is a huge issue. You want to make sure that if I have ear, you know, buds in and you're shooting, you know, beyond 100 yards, can you hear this thing? And you can. We love the sound reverberation and sound quality on this gong. It's very loud with our ARs and all the different calibers that we've been shooting at it. So we're very pleased with the sound acoustics, if you will, that this gong produces when it's hanging on the hangers. So let's go ahead and talk about the price. For everything that you see here, the last stand system, which means a pair of joints, which means a pair of hangers, the gong, and rebar, you're looking at about $160 total investment. If you subtract the rebar, just the price of the gong, the hangers, and the joints, that's going to run you about $130 plus a little bit of shipping. I think about $10 shipping on Amazon. Prices vary, so I will have links in the description below over to Amazon. That's always a great way to help support the channel, as well as links over to the Last Stand website, so you can check that out as well. And you can, as we've kind of talked about, and I've probably touched on a little bit throughout these shots, is that you can purchase each item separately except for the gong. So if you have this system and you're like, you know what, I just need another set of hangers, awesome. You can buy those for about $20 plus some shipping. If you just want a set of A-framers and you want to hang it a different way or use your own, you know, targets and steel targets or whatever, cool, then those will cost you about $40 plus shipping. So there's lots of capabilities, lots of different options that you can do, and that's what I like. I get for 130 bucks plus some shipping, I get a gong that's holding up great, I get the joints, and I get the hangers. And that is a phenomenal setup and a great price, and I'm very pleased with my purchase. You guys are gonna be seeing a lot more of this system and many other systems. I'm gonna buy probably 3 of these, so that you're gonna see that in future videos when we're doing gun reviews and different things like that, because I'm very happy with how this system works and its capabilities. Well, folks, there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this quick video discussing the systems. To date, this is my favorite way to hang steel and or paper targets, and has been holding up very well. I love the durability of the plate, and for the price point, I don't really see a lot on the market that's able to compete in the capacity and versatility that this thing offers you. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this, and it points you in the right direction in building your I guess personal range, if you will, systems. This is a lot better than going to a paid range for sure. It's coming out here in the wilderness and having a good time. So as always, thank you so much for coming over, checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Love to hear your thoughts. And as always, remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.